In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Honda HRR216 versus the Toro Super Recycler. So let's get started. So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Honda HRR216 versus the Toro Super Recycler. I've been using the Honda HRR mowers for over 10 years. This model right here is approximately 2 years old, so I've got 2 seasons of use on it. The Toro Super Recycler, I decided to give Toro a chance this year. The Toro Super Recycler, I bought it in, I believe it was April, and this is the month of October. So I've gotten good use out of both mowers to give you an honest review. So let's talk about the Honda mower right here, the first one right here. The Honda mower is the HRR216. It's the K10 model. You can purchase this at Home Depot. Now there's a newer model available that's available at Lowe's and Home Depot. Like I said, this model here is 2 years old. The new model is just slightly different. Has slightly different wheel adjustments, a slightly different lever to change to bagging, and it has a little bit of a bigger engine. But pretty much they're almost identical other than those little minor feature tweaks that they have. The extra horsepower in the engine will make a little bit of a difference. But for today's review, we're going to be talking about the HRR216. I've got 2 years of use on this one, and I've been using them for 10 years, so I can give you a pretty good review on it. These retail for about $409. A lot of times, Home Depot and Lowe's will run them on sale for around $399. So the Honda HRR216 has a 3-in-1 system. It's a twin blade. Honda uses 2 blades in it to help it mulch the grass into finer pieces. It does a really good job. They are the only lawnmower, push mower that offers that I'm aware of. Some of the newer battery ones might, but the Toro is single blade and the Honda is a twin system blade. It cuts up the grass into really fine particles and does a pretty decent job at mulching leaves. The Honda has a Honda GCV 160 engine. This is also available in a 190cc engine. I kind of regret not getting a 190cc engine, but this model here is the most popular one Honda sells. And the 160cc engine does a pretty good job until you get into really tall, thick grass that's wet. Then this thing will struggle a little bit, but overall it does a really good job. This Honda mower does not have a side discharge plate. It's only a mulching mower and a bagging mower. You could technically open up the back here, the back hatch, and have the grass go in the rear of you, but I don't know why you would want to do that because you'd have grass all over you as you mow. So this is mainly going to be only a mulching mower, which is fine with me because that's all I do is mulch, and then I'll bag some leaves in the fall. So the Honda mower has a thumb drive system on it. You push the handle right here. It works out really great. I've never had an issue with it, and this is after using them commercially. Like I said, most of my mowers I use for a minimum of 5 years before I sell them and get a new one. And I've been using these things for over 10 years. So they've really worked out for me. I've never had a transmission problem with the Honda mower. To adjust the wheels, you have single lever adjusters on all 4 wheels. There is a knob to the right where you can bag and mulch. And obviously you have the bagger in the back. So it's a pretty simple system. It works out really well, and I really like the Honda mower. Air filter has easy access. There's a fuel shutoff valve on the engine where you can turn the fuel off. As far as fuel efficiency, this has a pretty big tank in the Honda, and it seems like it's very fuel efficient. I don't have to fill it up very much at all. So with that said, let's talk about the Toro Super Recycler. This is my first experience with the Toro Super Recycler. I've never owned one before. I've given it a full season workout to see what it's all about. So the Toro Super Recycle, this is a $599 model. I bought it at Home Depot. It is a electric start. That's why it's about $100 more than the Honda. They're pretty comparable, other than this is an electric start and it has a Briggs & Stratton 190cc engine. Now, there are a lot of complaints about the Briggs & Stratton 190cc engine. I do recommend that if you do decide to get the Toro Super Recycle, you get the Toro brand engine. I have had engine issues with this Briggs & Stratton 190cc engine. It's 8.75 horsepower. What happens is this engine likes to surge a lot. So if you're on really bumpy terrain, for some reason, it just starts surging. If it's flat, level ground, I have not had an issue. But if you hit a bump in your yard, or if it's kind of a rough terrain in your yard, that for some reason the Briggs & Stratton 190cc engine, 8.75 horsepower, starts surging. I have no idea why. It doesn't cut off on me at all. It just kind of loses power for half a second. The 190cc engine is very powerful. I do like it. I've never had it bog down or give me any issues. Once again, we have a single point on all four wheels, lever adjustments for the height. Your fuel tank on the Toro is a little smaller, and it gets a little bit worse fuel efficiency. Air filter is right here. Two screws pop that off. Once again, the Toro system has a bagger, but it doesn't have a knob to go from bagging mode. You actually have to take out a plate behind where the bagger is. Simple enough, not a big deal. The problem I worry about with some homeowners is they could take out the plate to go to the bagging mode, and they might take out the plate somewhere and they might lose it. So the Honda system, when it comes to bagging, just one single lever knob going from mulch to bag is a lot easier than using the Toro system for the plate. Both systems work. I'm just concerned that some people might lose the plate and then they might have to pay to replace the part, or you're stuck bagging with this mower. So comparing the actual mowing from the Honda to the Toro, I believe the Honda cuts up the grass a lot finer than what the Super Recycler does. This thing mulches through leaves a lot better as well than the Super Recycler. The only problem I have with the Honda mower here is if you're in really tall, thick grass. So we're talking if you're cutting like 10 inches of grass that's really thick, heavily fertilized, and maybe there's dew in the morning or it just rained. This thing will go through it. You have to go a little slower because it has a little smaller of an engine. But what will happen is on your left side, it'll start clogging up and it'll start putting clumps in your yard. The grass builds up around the wheel, and as the wheels turn, the clumps from the wheel fall in the grass. So on the left side of the mower, you're going to have a lot of clumps from the grass collecting on the wheels and dumping off into your yard. Any other conditions, this thing does perfectly fine. As far as the Super Recycler, it has the horsepower to get through that tall, thick grass, and I haven't noticed any clumping coming from the Toro at all. So I've cut 8-inch grass with this that was tall and heavy wet, and it went right through it with no problems at all. The bigger engine probably has a lot to do with that. The personal pay system that this thing has is pretty easy to use. Like I said, I'm used to the Honda system. I still prefer the Honda system over the personal pace. That's just a personal preference. Just probably because I've been using the Honda system for so long. But the personal pace self-propelled system works great as well. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these lawnmowers. I think they're both great lawnmowers. My personal preference is the Honda just because I've been using them for such a long time and I'm very comfortable with them, and I know the maintenance on them is low. I've never had a single problem with my Honda lawnmowers. Hopefully this is a good review for you if you're in the market to buy either the Honda or the Toro Super Recycler. It'll give you an idea of which one to purchase. Some of the pros with the Honda lawnmower is the engine and the low maintenance and the fuel efficiency it has, and it cuts up the grass into fine grass particles. Some of the cons with this lawnmower is it does clump on the left side where the wheels are if you're in really tall, heavily fertilized grass. Some of the pros with the Toro Super Recycler is that the 190cc engine is very powerful. I would recommend going with the Toro brand because the Briggs & Stratton surging engine issues. It doesn't clump at all, and it seems to go through grass really nice.
A lot of people also like the storage position of the Toro Super Recycler. You can fold the handle completely up to store it easily in your garage.
Some of the cons of the Toro Super Recycler is going to be the bagging system as far as how you have that plate to remove. It's not a big deal at all, but it does require you to remove the plate, store the plate somewhere while you bag, and then you have to remember to put it back in.